Okay, so we're going to put American and world history in perspective and clarify some misconceptions as to the real actions surrounding World War II and Nazi Germany, and how Germany had a head start on their plan for global domination with the U.S.'s Yale University's Skull and Bones, which was modeled after a Germanic death cult. The infiltration of academia worldwide, not just in the United States. The forces behind Nazi Germany were ahead of their time, and the so-called elites that we hear about in the news and media is not news at all, and have always financed both sides of a war. To further substantiate that, we have to look at George W. Bush's grandfather, Prescott Bush. It was Prescott Bush and Wall Street bankers affiliated with the Bank of England, Bank of Germany, and the centralized European banking system that helped fund Nazi Germany. And while the DOJ, fast forwarding after World War II, began investigating war crimes, it was IBM, the American company, right, which was called something else before it was IBM, and their Hollerith machine, which was used by the Census Bureau in America for demographics purposes, right, for analytics, for collecting data. These are old analog systems. And so the Hollerith machine is what was used by the Nazis in the concentration camps during World War II. They would measure the body mass index of their victims, and based on that and other criteria, could determine how much work they can get out of them. It was all about slavery. The Nazis were obsessed with harnessing the kinetic energy of human beings. And so that always was the plan for global domination, was for enslavement, but in a kind of quasi-ethical manner, or at least something that on the surface appears to be desirable by the masses, because you have to get people to conform to this, right? And so these technologies were all developed as a result of World War II, but IBM got the first contract with the United States government for Social Security purposes. It was in the mid-40s that IBM got a contract with the Social Security Administration for the purposes of Social Security, which was supposed to be a good thing, right? But nevertheless, they were using that same technology. The Hollerith machine was a blueprint. The reason why this is important, and I want everybody to listen up and listen to what I'm saying, Germans were already working on artificial intelligence machines. They were analog, right? In order to build those machines, you have to get the data first to figure out how all this works. Now, Echelon was a program developed by the National Security Agency as a result of German technology. Everything that had to do with communications, you guys have to go back into history and look at who invented RFID. Echelon started out as a surveillance system, a massive surveillance system that was similar to Google Voice. With today's technology, we can speak into a phone, we can have Google transcribe what we're saying. Well, this is what Echelon was. Echelon was the blueprint for our modern day systems. And so when certain words, phrases were flagged by the National Security Agency's computers, they would then be reviewed by intelligence officers at the NSA, Central Intelligence Agency, and their collaborators. Echelon became part of Five Eyes, right? And Five Eyes is the massive global surveillance system that kind of emerged from Echelon and became much more than just monitoring telecommunications. All right. And so Five Eyes is who? English-speaking countries, right? There's 5 countries that are members, and then they have Nine Eyes and other programs which are compromised. Because remember, with that intelligence sharing, it's similar to the National Crime Information Center, right? The NCIC, which police use in the computers they have in their patrol cars. It's similar to that, because who has access to those systems? It's not just the United States. It's whoever they share that information with. Many of them are foreign contractors. The U.S. has agreements. In the furtherance of scientific studies, the United States, after World War II, shared what they had with Russia and China. All right? And if we look at 1947 Operation Paperclip, where the Central Intelligence Agency brought back all those Nazi German scientists, that set the perfect stage for the infiltration of the U.S., which was already infiltrated with Yale University. They already had the academia in psychology and the field of medical research. Many Americans were Germans. That's not to say all Germans are bad, but the point is that it is a certain kind of a psychology And, people are better at dealing with others like themselves than somebody who's seen as an outsider, right, from an outside tribe.